I'm so I am tired, guys. Last one. We've been at this for 3 hours now, and like 40 minutes of that is because of a crossword puzzle. Let's get it done. I hope the last one, the self-terminating loop. I hope it's short. It is. That's nice. Euclid. SCP-1669, nice, is housed in the standard humanoid containment cell at Humanoid Containment Site 6-3. As a former Foundation researcher, SCP-1669 is considered a low-risk humanoid SCP and may request items or materials at the discretion of Level 3 security staff, as so long as such materials do not violate any security protocols. And now we have fucking JoJo's playing. SCP-1669 is aware of its classification as Euclid class anomalous entity, but it's not aware of the specifics of its containment, nor of the nature of -alpha events. Disclosure of this information to SCP-1669 is punishable by immediate transfer and/or termination. In the event of such disclosure, SCP-1669 is to be administered a Class A amnestic. All the seized instances of SCP-1669 are to be stored in separate cryogenic freezers following examination and autopsy. Until such time that a better understanding of -alpha events is made, all experimentation regarding and attempts to prevent such events are indefinitely suspended. SCP-1669 are instances of human subjects matching the description of Dr. Daniel Isaac, an Israeli biologist and Level 2 assistant researcher and laboratory technician, formerly employed by the Foundation at Humanoid Containment Site 6-3, until his classification as a Euclid class entity on the blank blank blank. Due to SCP-1669's status as a former Foundation employee and the nature of its anomalous property, SCP-1669 is mostly cooperative with Foundation personnel as long as full disclosure of its anomalous properties and Event Alpha is not made. Event Alpha is an anomalous event that first occurred on blank 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 and has reoccurred approximately every 161 days since, with a margin of error of approximately 33 hours. During a alpha event, a perfect copy of SCP-1669 will spontaneously come into existence somewhere within 30 meters of SCP-1669 and immediately attempt to kill SCP-1669 by any means possible. The newer instance of SCP-1669 will not respond to any attempts at communication and exhibits extraordinary single-mindedness in the completion of its goal. It will attempt to limit collateral damage and especially injury or loss of life, but will not stop until the previous instance of SCP-1669 is dead. To date, no attempt to prevent the death of the previous instance of SCP-1669 has succeeded, and new instances of SCP-1669 have exhibited unusual strength, speed, and reflexes, as well as the capability to shrug off or ignore pain and injury. See Addendum 1 for more information. The only thing that can kill me is me. Upon the death of the previous SCP-1669 instance, SCP-1669 will lose consciousness for a period of no less than 3 minutes, and upon returning to consciousness will have no recollection of any event prior to the initiation of Event Alpha. Examination and autopsy of SCP-1669 instances has yielded that they are exact copies aside from whatever clothing or equipment they are wearing or carrying at the time, down to the presence of birthmarks, minor injuries, and scar tissue. Investigation of the work history of Dr. Isaac has not yielded any anomalous items or contained objects which can explain SCP-1669's anomalous properties. As a Level 2 laboratory technician, Dr. Isaac did not have any direct contact with objects in containment. And then 1, log of notable event, alpha iteration. Iteration 1, date, blank, 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 time, 1521 L. Description. During a brief conversation with coworker Dr. Blank Blank outside of Biological Laboratory 3, -1 appeared from a nearby hallway, walked up behind Dr. Isaac, and stabbed him 13 times in the torso with a scalpel. Dr. Isaac died within approximately 23 seconds, upon which -1 lost consciousness. Note: all clothing and carried items on -1 were identical to that of Dr. Isaac, including the serial number and were patterns on the $20 note. Dr. Isaac had received as a result of a bet with a coworker approximately 14 minutes before the event. So, full-on copy, yeah? Iteration 2. Blank 11.8. Dash 2 appeared out of a large air vent near Dash 1, who had been transferred into a low security cell following 162 days of observation. Dash 2 entered the cell and strangled Dash 1 before security guards were able to respond, upon which Dash 2 lost consciousness. Examination of the HVAC system showed no possible way in which a adult human could have gained access to the containment wing. All clothing and carried items were identical except that the jumpsuit worn by Dash 2 was yellow instead of the regular orange. Iteration 8. Blank 9/17th. With prior approval from the site director, Dash 7 was informed of the nature of Event Alpha and given body armor and non-lethal firearm prior to the event. Response team members armed with additional non-lethal weapons were assigned to guard Dash 7, with orders to attempt to subdue and take Dash 8 alive if possible. Dash 8 appeared during a shift change for the response team. During the confusion, Dash 8 managed to subdue 3 armed personnel in hand-to-hand combat before reaching Dash 7 shooting it twice in the head with a high-caliber handgun. The non-lethal weapons employed by response team personnel appeared to have no effect. Note: SCP-1669 exhibited advanced training in hand-to-hand combat techniques in this iteration, which is inconsistent with the level of defensive capability known to be in SCP-1669's possession outside of a Alpha event. This iteration is also multiple as first iteration in which a new instance of SCP-1669 appeared with a weapon or equipment not in the possession of the previous instance. Iteration 12. 23/22. Prior to the event, Alpha-11 was locked inside an armored personnel carrier crewed and guarded by 2 heavily armed squads from Mother Task Force redacted. MTF was given this still doesn't work. Was given discretionary permission to protect Dash 11 using any means of their disposal up to and including the use of lethal force. Dash 12 appeared wearing heavy body armor and wielding a man-portable high-explosive anti-tank heat rocket launcher, which is used to destroy the carrier. 1 member of MTF as well as Dash 11 were killed instantly, and 4 more team members were wounded in the attack. Dash 12 was also injured by its proximity to the blast. Injuries sustained by Dash 12 in the explosion included a severed left pinky finger caused by shrapnel from the explosion. This finger was unable to be reattached, and all subsequent instances of SCP-1669 have exhibited the same missing digit. Tracking the serial number on the weapon used in the attack turned up an identical weapon that had been transferred to the armory of Site Blank over 650 kilometers away just 2 hours prior to the event. Iteration 20. 23/22L. With prior approval from both respective site directors, Dash 19 was taken to Containment Area 25B, where SCP-076-2 had recently awakened. Cooperation from 076-2 was secure when information that the force coming for Dash 19 could not be stopped by any means available to the Foundation would make a worthy opponent for Dash 2. Dash 19 was, well, for SCP-076-2. Dash 19 was positioned within the killing corridor between SCP-076-2. Dash 20 emerged from SCP-076-1 and launched at Dash 19, but the attack was successfully deflected by SCP-076-2. The two proceeded to battle for 14 hours before Dash 20 suddenly manifested data expulsion and attacked Dash 2, resulting in data expulsion and the death of blank members of the MTF redacted, as well as Dash 19, upon which Dash 20 lost consciousness. Dash 2 immediately attempted to breach containment and was subsequently terminated. An additional 10 personnel were lost during the containment attempt. Before finally succumbing to his injuries, Dash 2 was heard muttering, "That's the most fun I've had in ages." The manifestation of data expunged by Dash 20 shows no upper limit to the abilities that can be manifested by an SCP-1699 instance during Event Alpha. Due to the high loss of Foundation personnel and damages to the Foundation resources, further attempts to prevent Event Alpha were suspended following this incident. Going forward, under no circumstances is SCP-1699 allowed to come into contact with SCP-076-2. And we're... Wait, hold on. Oh yeah. I'm tired. That is pretty cool concept though. It's kind of like the Paul von Steinscape, where like no matter which timeline he traveled, his friend would die. Subaru's friend would die. Rikane. So like it's kind of like that, but instead of a friend, it's you. You, and the one killing you is yourself as well. So that's definitely. It's very intense, and the fact that like they will always find a way, and if something gets in the way, they will manifest things out in thin air just to get to you. Oh well, get to themselves, I guess. All you can say is good that we don't have him as our enemy. Technically. We don't have him as our enemy technically. He's not killing us, he's killing himself. That is very dark, honestly, to say it out loud. That's very dark.